and I want to get straight into it, starting off with host.
Hello.
What do you have for us?
What was the name of the series I reviewed last time? Kizuna? Was it Kizuna? Ayaka? Kizuna?
Ayaka.
Kizuniver?
Ayaka.
I don't
Ayaka,
fucking
story of
know.
bonds and wounds, or something like that.
So
Yeah,
basically Kizuna, right? I don't Kizuniver.
that is
Go
not
hands.
how that works.
Go
I
hands.
mean,
Go hands, right?
Kizuna might
Goddamn
be
go
in
hands.
there.
No.
No, it was one of
Yeah,
the
I
guy
don't
who
even
was in
know.
charge of K or something, right? Wasn't it?
yeah. It was the same person who was the character designer or something for K or something like that. I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Why'd I bring that? All right. So yeah, that's just that series was about pretty boys, right?
Yes.
Remember when I said that a main character usually only has like two. It's usually two colors, red or blue. There, did I
Yes.
say something like that? I feel like I did. Well, this time, now we have now that there was a blue-haired boy with pretty boys. Now we have a red-haired dude with pretty girls, and that's what this series is called TenPuru, or no, also known as just Temple. Temple. No one can live on loneliness.
hmm
Okay.
Who? What's the
Yeah.
studio?
I don't know.
Studio
Uh,
Gecko.
yeah, Gecko. I think I remember this studio. Ah, yes, my
I
one
don't.
hit kill sister, and yeah, my one hit kill sister. Yes, I remember this.
Nice.
Yes. It was a couple of seasons ago, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
What did Gecko do? I don't know. Yeah.
I just, I just mentioned it. My one hit kill sister. I
What
forget
else?
who covered it here though. I think you covered it, didn't
Did
you?
I? No.
I think you
Sister
might
or
have, to be honest.
Did I?
Unless no
Oh
one
no, I
covered. Maybe
thought
no
of
one
covering.
covered it,
I
and we're
thought
thinking
of
of the
covering.
mom one.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Because we
mom
covered.
one,
I
right?
think we
no,
covered that
the
one.
one hit kill sister. I was thinking of covering it, but ultimately didn't. Sorry, I apologize. Anyways, Gecko, relatively new to the scene. Did a
Wait.
couple of
Is the one hit kill sister the one with the red haired ponytail?
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one with Asuna Ruri? Yeah,
Yes.
I think. Okay, yeah. So yeah,
Anyway,
so you guys like harem,
No.
haram.
Tara. uh,
Is it how do you usually say it, Spire? Harem,
Hareem.
harem, right? You guys like super standard harem
No.
Yeah,
made by that's
Serum.
of
basically
course.
has similarities to Love Hina, Yuragi So, and it's a throwback, but Aminideo, or what is it called? Ah, my Buddha.
Wasn't
Is
there also one
super
that's
old
like
one.
Asuna Yoichi? Well, that one was
Oh,
also a thing.
yeah. Whoa, that's a samurai one, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, that's a throw. That's also a throwback. Good job,
Prehistoric
Spire.
age gamer.
Prehistoric. I fuck. Okay, can I just put out something? I don't know. Sorry, I'm sorry, Toast, for the tangent.
That's fine.
I don't know where these Facebook memes are coming from, but this whole prehistoric gamer thing, the worst one I saw, I forget whether who was it that posted it, if it was Toast or somebody else,
It
but
was not
somebody
me.
was, yeah, but somebody posted some pic though that's had at the bottom. It was the usual thing that puts X series ancient or Y series prehistoric gamer or was Z series eight like legend gamers something like that. And the very bottom one, the oldest one, was Arifureta. Arifureta came out like 2 years ago, guys. Come on, man.
I
This
only
thing,
know this
Asuno
one.
Yoichi, the thing I mentioned, came out in 2009. Guys, come on. It's only been like
Spire,
14 years.
Spire. Remember what?
Come on, man.
Remember what I always talk about with anime arrows. Everything
Yeah.
pre 2011 is
Nothing
clearly.
existed.
I used
It
to be
was just
called. I used to call it retro, but now it's apparently prehistoric.
Yeah.
prehistoric.
Yeah,
Motherfucker. Anyways.
but yeah.
Sorry, please go
Where
on.
was I going on? This is written by the artist behind Grand Blue, or
Oh, I can
not
kind of see it.
not
The original character designer, or what are you talking about? Like,
Grand Blue was written by the dude who made Baka Test, right? But it was
was
illustrated
it?
by this dude. And so this dude, I guess, took this dude.
He's saying
Kimitake
Grand
Yoshioka.
Blue, by the way, not Grand
Grand-
Blue.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I mean it
I'm
looks
sorry.
like that. I don't know why
The
you'd be-
localized is Grand Blue Dreaming, not to be confused with Grand Blue Fantasy.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. So apparently, I guess that guy just took what he learned from making Grand Blue and made his own manga, and it shows. Because all I remember from Grand Blue is muscle dudes in funny situations, right? I guess.
Yes.
Well, this is the exact opposite. Now it's a hot temple chicks. Oh, I'm sorry. It's called a nunnery. And I don't know what that is in Japan, but they refer to it as a nunnery.
Like a shrine or
Yeah. So they're put in pervy situations with this dude.
It's
Dude.
not. It's not. It's a nunnery. Aren't they just Mikos?
I
Isn't that what
they
they
use
are?
the word they use the word
Who
Amadera.
translated this? Who trans? Wait, what?
They use the word Amadera, and I Google translated. It says
Oh,
nunnery. So I guess is that correct? I don't know
I.
anything about shrine maidens, but it
It's like a
says
Buddhist,
it's
it's like a female monk kind of thing. Yeah,
yeah,
I guess.
It's a Buddhist shrine, and
Yeah, it's like
all
the
females
Buddhist
live there. So
equivalent. Yeah.
okay, so well, I guess I'll go with nunnery. But yeah, so I guess I should go into the background. The main character's name is Akagami Akimitsu, and the story is that his dad is a big lover of women. It's like he wants to love all the women in the world. So when he was little, Akagami, I was like, "Oh, my dad's so cool." And then later on, his dad was like, "Okay, son, goodbye. I'm leaving. I'm going to woo all the women in the world." And so he leaves. I guess. Well, I guess he left when he was like 5 years old. But apparently, the Akagami name is infamous around him because he only learned later on that women are scared of him, and so he's got a bad reputation. And so over his over his lifetime, he's like, "Oh, I don't want to be a womanizer and whatnot. I'm gonna study and whatnot not to become like my family's name and
Right. The
whatnot."
protagonist trying to turn away from being a pervy, I
Yeah.
guess,
So
heir,
and
right?
then he runs into the main female lead, Aoba Yuzuki, who
Mm-hmm.
is voiced by
Aimee, right?
Terakawa Aimee. I don't know who that
Yes.
is,
Aimee
but
is she's been or she's I guess she initially came to fruition when she
I see a
voiced one
lot
of
of
the
Bang Dream, so
yeah, it's she
I don't
her
know Bang Dream.
breakout role was Bang Dream stuff, but she did a whole bunch of other roles afterwards too. Yeah.
But yeah, so oh, she was Roxanne in Freezing. Did anyone even
Yes.
watch Freezing? I didn't. Freezing sucks. I don't want to go.
I watched like a tiny bit of it, but it wasn't very
Anyway, I don't even know if Freezing ended. But where was I? Yeah, so I guess she was carrying rice home, and
okay.
she was carrying rice home, and she knocks him over. So it was like this fated meeting and whatnot. So he instantly falls in love with her, and that kickstarts his life of debauchery, apparently, because he used to be like a model student and had a part-time job, and like, oh, I don't want to go to mixers. But after meeting her and falling in love, he started going to mixers and skipping class and became a womanizer. And he's like, oh shit, is this the Akagami blood? Like, Kurt, is this the Akagami curse or whatever? But apparently it's not. He just hasn't been used to women his entire life. So once he fell in love, went crazy. So
Hmm.
I guess to prevent that, he takes a leave of absence in school and goes to the nunnery.
Okay.
I'm gonna call it the shrine.
Yeah,
He
shrine,
he
no, no, it's fine. Yeah, whichever.
he decides to become a Buddhist monk and like
Hmm.
try to achieve enlightenment. So he goes to the shrine, and lo and behold, Alba lives there, and some wacky hijinks happens, and this is super standard like intro by the way. It's like, oh, some wacky hijinks happen. It used to be all women, but now there's a man,
Mhm.
and it turns out like,
Yeah.
oh, his uncle recommended him to this shrine, but he didn't know it was all women right now. So he's gotta convince them to let me stay here, and then he does, and now they're living together. That's literally the most basic, common cookie cutter intro
Mhm.
that of every
Okay.
standard rom com of this type it is. And
Yeah.
you
Okay.
know what?
So
What? I'll continue.
yeah. So that's the basic in synopsis. And not to go too much into the episodes, is this the stuff after this is pretty episodic, right? I haven't read the manga though.
Sure.
Sorry. It is.
Yeah, it's fine.
uh,
It's
are all so is the cast all introduced like in the first couple of one or two episodes, and then you go through one by one, or are the girls?
Yeah, that's about right. You see everyone in there. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
thing that happens is when he goes to the shrine, he meets up with her, and
Mhm.
like he thinks, oh, he goes up there. He thinks he's going there for an interview because his uncle recommended to her, but she thought that Aoba, they're all named Aoba. I'll name her Yuzuki because that's her name. Yuzuki thought he was there for like an arranged meeting or arranged marriage thing. So there's that misunderstanding, and then oh no, wacky hijinks happen, and then the super standard. Oh, this misunderstanding happens, and then he runs around the area, and then oh look, there's that girl, and then oh look, he stumbles into that girl and gets into a lucky pervert
Right,
situation on
right.
all of them, and it's like oh ho ho, and then they all get mad at him, but then they
So is
reconcile.
the other than the whole, usually what happens in these series is an episodic. I help one girl, or I get to know the other girl better, or whatever it is, right? But usually in the middle of that, there's a bunch of lucky pervert situations. Again, is this
Yeah,
sort of how it goes in TenPuru, more or less?
yeah, pretty much.
Can you also give a kind of short overview of each of the girls here? It kind of looks like we have two tsundere, we have the purple-haired Imoto type, the lolly Imoto type. We have Onone, sexy One-san type. I don't know whether
Which
that's a
one?
fake
Who are you
disguise for
thinking
the
of?
orange-haired one.
Orange? Sure.
Yeah, the orange hair,
But yeah,
the one with
so
the green headband. And then is the main character just a general? Oh, I am a serious hard worker kind of type, honest hard worker kind of type. Is that how it's divided?
okay, well, we'll go down the list because all of
Yeah,
them.
if you
There's
could do.
3 episodes right now, and all of them have, I guess, generally been introduced
Yeah, yeah.
so
You
far.
give a
So we'll
short
start with
overview.
Yuzuki Aoba. She's the main, and you can tell she's the main because the dude, fell in love with her at first sight, and then the first thing
Okay.
he says to her when uh when he meets her again at the shrine is he wants to marry her. So it's like, oh, we've only met twice, and you want to marry me, and it's like, oh, I guess she's the female lead. Sure.
Hmm.
But she's
Classic first girl wins. Yes.
yeah. You can you can tell by the way she was carrying like 3 bales of rice. She's pretty dumb and headed, I guess.
Oh, it's like the Ponkotsu kind
She's
of thing. But then what else? What
I
else is
guess
there?
yeah. That's about it. I don't know
It's
what.
just Ponkotsu, but like honest, hardworking kind of type.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And
What about the orange-haired one?
that's her. Which one? Let's see.
The one with the green headband.
Wow, you don't wanna go down the family tree. You just wanna go left
I don't know
field,
how
huh?
the family tree
I'm gonna
works
go.
in
Okay,
this
no,
series. That's why.
I'm gonna go down the family tree. So that's
Yeah, yeah.
Yuzuki.
Okay, that's fine.
She's 17. She's the oldest daughter of the Alba family, I guess.
Okay.
And we're gonna go down to Tsukuyo Alba. She's the blonde-haired girl, and
Oh, okay.
she's got a pretty distinct voice because once you hear her, you immediately recognize that Serizawa Yu.
Oh my god. Okay.
And if you don't know who Serizawa Yu is, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. Wait, this
She's
is Cersei Yu is the one. Yeah, it's the yellow-haired one, right?
yeah,
Without the ponytails. Yeah, okay.
she's the orange-haired girl in Show Me and
Yeah, this is a
Sample.
very classic fit for Cersei Yu character, to be honest.
She's, she's the second one. She's the one who's
Yes.
like, oh, we can't let this man live in our house and
Yeah.
whatnot. She's the
Yeah, yeah,
tsundere one and whatnot.
yeah. Classic typing. Yes.
And then, but she's not stupid either.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, whatever. More social than the other ones. Then you've got a third daughter, Kurage Aoba, who's voiced by Yamashita Nanami. I don't know who this is. She
Oh,
was
I
in
think I've
Jashin-chan, right?
heard of her. Yes, you are
She's Kyon
right.
from Jashin-chan. I remember that much. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know any others though.
Lutsuki, yeah, okay. Yeah, she's relatively new. Well,
Sure.
what I'll say. No, wait, no, she was in Wake Up Girls, so she's done a lot of like 2D idol kind of stuff and like High School Fleet and like kind of stuff like that, smaller stuff, and then she kind of came up. She did Miku and Darling in the Frank, huh? Okay, but yeah,
Darling in the Franxx. What the hell is that show? Never heard of it.
yeah, nobody knows. Anyways, go on.
Yeah. So she's a third daughter, and she's the Kudere one, but she's also the main character calls her pure because she's the most blunt in saying how perverted the others are. He's like, oh, what is it? What's her name? Yuzuki's acts like this, but she might be a closet pervert, and she's the one that was like, "Hey, you want to see my sister's changing?" And then she attempts to open the bathroom door, but runs away. So the MC accidentally opens the door and is like, "Oh ho, lucky situation." So she's pretty playful and kude and whatnot. And then we'll go down to who I think is who's the most interesting character is Mia Kristoff. So I'm sorry, Spire. She's not Japanese. She's the twin-tailed one. So she's voiced by Asahina Madoka.
Okay.
I keep seeing smartphone and whenever I look up these VAs names. The hell is this?
Because smartphone had a crap ton of like, because the carom in smartphone was actually pretty huge, right? And
Yeah,
they
it
had a
was.
whole bunch of different roles. It was one of those series where it not one of those. There's a lot of these days, but it was 1 or 2 years ago where there was a sudden spurt of where a bunch of production committees would just go out and try to Mac on really any harem isekai series in terms of just getting them out the door, right? And Smartphone was one of them, right? And Smartphone, because it had at least 6 or 8 girls, right, in the harem that had names. So they just had a whole bunch of girls, or they had a whole bunch of voice actresses acting out those roles. And I think she was one of them. Yeah. So.
But yeah, other than Serizao Yu, she's also the one with the most obvious voice.
Hmm.
Do you remember Benkyo wa Dekinai? Do you remember the
Yes, I
best
do.
character in that series?
The teacher? Wasn't the teacher really popular?
Jesus, fire. All right.
I thought the teacher was the most popular one,
I mean,
right? I didn't really have an
teacher was
opinion.
pretty cool, but I mean, I guess Spire, who's the second most interesting character in that series?
The cousin Uruka? Who was it?
What? The one who the doctor, the one who was starting to become a doctor, Komi Mami Asumi, the one with the purple hair with the was it a braid?
Oh, this one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
yeah, her
remember.
voice is
Yes.
super recognizable too, and
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil episode 3 because that was the most interesting episode because it involves her, but her backstory was pretty good
I just
as to
kind
why
of
she's
remember
part of
her
the
as a
temple.
Nene Sakura in New Game. I think just because I really like that series. But yeah.
Yeah, so far she's the most interesting character. And
Mhm.
then I'm sorry to disappoint you, Spire, but the brown-haired girl, orange, the green
Or
headband
whatever. Yeah.
girl,
Yeah.
her name is Kagura Baldwin.
Yeah.
Get it?
What is that name?
Baldwin. Wow, Spire, don't insult Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. Uh,
He
wait,
put
this
it
is
there.
like a Sumida character?
Yep,
I
that's
can't
fair.
see. I haven't watched this series. I can't imagine that voice with this face. I just can't. Can you, Nier? Can you imagine this being voiced by Usaka Sumira role? She would
Wait,
have to.
which
She would have to kill her sort of original voice, right? Did she
which one is
kill most of
she?
her original? The green headband one.
Kagura?
Yeah, 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 yeah. She
Wait,
would have to kill
really?
her sort of original voice, right? Her as
Yeah,
her base
that's
voice in order to do that. Yeah,
yeah, that's
that's very interesting.
strange.
Okay, okay, okay. I
I
guess it
don't know,
also helps
man.
that she's definitely older now. So
I don't know, Spired. I don't know, Spired. Nier did watch Urusei Yatsura.
yeah, she's much better at killing her sort of
Yeah,
initial voice or base voice. I think now,
She
or
was
suppressing
also
it
she
rather.
was also in Rokudo, no, like Rokudo's girls as Himawari,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the
She's getting
voice she
better at doing
uses
Onesai
is
roles.
different there. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's this
So
sort of
what is
sleepy
her?
voice. She's literally
Uh,
just she's sorry to disappoint Spider, but she's just Mia Kristoff's attendant, childhood friend
well,
slash
is her?
attendant, because
Oh, so she's not part of the harem?
no,
Why is she in the
no,
poster
not yet.
art? What the?
I mean, I guess she is.
because the
Sure.
more girls, the better,
Oh
dude.
yeah, dude.
That's true. That's how it works.
I guess she
Apologies.
is. But yeah.
Okay.
And then there's Kiki, who's like the oldest
But I guess
three.
it's more like it's like Chris and Margit in Majikoi, right? It's sort of that sort of relationship. I'm guessing.
Sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then we got Kiki, who's Takahashi Chiaki. She
Mm-hmm.
plays the sleepy drunk. Like, oh, you want to see my tits here? And it's like, oh, whatever. But yeah,
Yeah. Again, classic role for Takashi Chiaki.
that's fine.
But
And then I guess the main character, what's his name?
Akasaka Masayuki
Yeah, yeah. Who's that guy? I don't know.
apparently did a role in Kanokari, Rent a Girlfriend, and this is his
I've never
second
heard of
really
that
major
series.
role.
I don't want to hear.
What's Yoshiaki? Is that the main character? No, it's not. Oh, it's like one
I
of the side
I
characters
guess
in
this would be his first major role. Yeah,
yeah, this would be his first main character role for sure.
good for
Yes.
him. But yeah,
Yep.
you know, he's he's obviously the straight man of the series because
Hmm.
he's like, oh, I came to this temple to cleanse my worldly desires and reach enlightenment, and
Hmm.
that's what he's trying to do. Like,
But then
even
he ends
though,
up being the lucky pervert, right?
yeah,
I
even
believe.
though he said he's in love with Yuzuki and he still is, but he's like, oh, when they're telling him like, oh, clean the temple, he's like, oh, I already did, and oh, where's the waterfall training and whatnot. So he's trying to do his monk thing. So he's serious about his job
Mhm.
because he
Uh,
plays a straight man to the girls' pervy antics. That's what makes him funny and whatnot.
what? How is the OPED in this series? It's just
Fine.
standard.
Yeah.
Fine.
I.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sure. What's
What?
weird is even though it's advertised to be a pervy series,
Uh huh.
maybe it's because I too have reached enlightenment, or I have already reached enlightenment beforehand. But the pervy things in this series,
Uh huh.
they're not. They're okay, I guess.
It's not. It's not at the peak of what
Yeah.
you've seen previously in some stuff like
It's no.
Isekais or
I'm
whatever.
sorry,
Yeah.
but it's no Inukai-san's dog. I have to say.
Inukai-san is very yeah, it's a pretty high hurdle. Or the one where what was it? The one where it was like Sugita voiced it, right? The one where the girls
The
glare at the panties or whatever it was. The girls glare at the
It's Dogesa
camera in
Panties,
first
right?
person. Yeah,
No,
the
that's a
Doga's
different
like panties
series.
or whatever,
That's a
right?
different series. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a different series. What I'm saying we already have very high hurdles for series. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but yeah, it's supposed to be like that, but it's not. It's okay, but it's
Mhm.
not as good as the humor in this series because
What's the is it mostly it's not Lucky Pervert humor mostly, right? Is it actually slapstick or what is it?
it's literally it's you saw Baka to Test, you saw Grand Blue. It's that kind of humor
Okay.
of
Okay.
outrageous situations where because the main character is like, "Oh, this is how I reach enlightenment," and then the girl's like, "Yeah, sure, whatnot." So yeah, they're both instigators of like comedic. Or him and the girls are both instigators of like the comedic situations and whatnot. Because in episode 2, what's her name? Episode 2 is Tsukio. Like they all hatched a plan to save Yuzuki. We're like, oh, there's a boy in here. We can't live with a boy. Let's kick him out. And so they're like, okay, Tsukio, you've got the lewdest body among us, among us. So you got to do pervy things to like get him to crack,
Right.
and so we can kick him out. And so the main character's
That's
like,
a pretty classic sort of episode too
yeah.
in these sorts of series. Yeah.
So the main character's taking a bath and whatnot. So she's like, so she walks into the bathroom and starts stripping, and then she's like, "What the hell am I doing? I'm doing this wrong." It's usually the usual situation is where the main character is like slips and falls on her, and then someone sees and they kicks them out, but she was doing it backwards. So that's a fun situation. But like the humor was the best in episode 3 with Mia Kristoff's background and like what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want to spoil it because it was pretty good. It was a pretty good funny episode. But yeah,
Okay. How are
this
the audio visuals?
fine, I
Do
guess.
they? Okay.
They have softer lines than they do on Grand Blue, I guess. Is what I want to
Okay.
say. Maybe it's because this is a female cast and not muscly dude cast and whatnot. So
Yeah,
I
Grand
mean,
Blue also isn't focused really on doing that sort of rom-com-ish kind of thing, right? As much.
yeah, it's a lot more humor focused. There's a lot of humor in this one too, so
Yeah.
I give it a pass.
I don't mean to.
What else? I mean, I think that all the girls are really voiced pretty well. They're all unique. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a good cast for them. Other than the main character, who I don't know who it is. Yeah, they're all recognizable. All the
Yeah.
main girls have like easy to understand personalities,
Yeah.
whatnot. So yeah,
All of these are pretty standard, or at least in the modern lineup, they're quite standard. A-listers for sure, for most of them. B, I want to say probably the least known of them is, as you said, Yamashita Nanami or maybe Asai Namaraka, but all of the other Seiyu voice actresses, Anzai Chika, Takahashi Chiaki, Uesaka Sumire, Cerezo Yu, all veterans of the industry for sure. So,
but yeah.
uh,
I mean, I don't have any real uh downsides that I want to
yeah,
talk
I mean,
about this
you're kind
anime.
of getting what's on the label, right? You're
It's
not getting
yeah,
any. Yeah, exactly.
it's
That's what
slapstick
I'm fine with that.
comedy,
Yeah,
but with
yeah.
the Buddhist twist, I guess.
What do you mean? You mean as a subject for the humor, right?
Yeah,
The whole I got to keep myself pure kind of thing.
yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
I gotta keep myself pure amongst these horny women, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
I know what you're talking about.
compared to the other series, it's the opposite of Aminaideya, where the main character is a pervert. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's how he got his spiritual powers or whatnot and whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of other series with like, oh, I'm a Buddhist living among women, and
There
that's the
was that
only one.
one, not it wasn't a Buddhist series, but there was a guy that came into a battle academy and he was sort of the strongest guy there, right? But nobody
Oh,
knew.
I know what you're talking
But
about. It was something dragon.
the three dragons, yeah, exactly. The three dragons or the rising dragons or whatever it is, right? The series. It was that one where the guy learned all these different techniques to keep himself sort of, I guess, pure
Dragons
and
riding,
steady. Yeah, dragons riding or rising.
rioting.
Rioting. Yes, you are correct. Dragons riding. It's kind of similar to that, in my opinion,
I
right?
guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but I also like that one. It was pretty short.
Yeah, I like that one too, for sure. Okay.
But I mean, yeah, this is straight up prehistoric anime, pre 2011 anime. It's good. I don't have any. It's good old fashioned rom com, I guess.
Yeah. What
Damn,
would you what mouse
I
score would you
can't
give it?
believe what's that guy's name? Seo Koji. I can't believe Seo Koji and this guy are know how to write a rom com
Yeah.
anime. Jesus Christ, that's two
Uh,
for two on my. Hey, this is pretty good rom coms and whatnot.
at least
But
that's
yeah,
good. Yeah. What mouse score?
my mouse score is probably like a 9. It's really good.
Okay. Okay.
It really makes me want to read the manga because the humor is super on point
Yeah, I want to check out the manga for this as well because it seems pretty,
and whatnot.
smooth. And again, written by, as you said, the Grand Blue person. So it's not just,
Yeah,
he's
Granblue's really
just
funny.
not
So
gonna
yeah,
just write crappy characters. Yeah, I definitely some level of trust there.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, you know what? It's- I'm too yeah. So I had a good time watching this. So I
Yeah,
definitely
I'm glad
recommend
that you
it.
found this. Yeah, and I'm
It was
definitely a little bit more interested in it now for
it was
sure.
either this or like what else? I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna watch freaking Level 1 or Jitsuwa Saikyo Desai. Hell no.
Yeah, am I actually the strongest or whatever the
Hell
crap that
no.
was? Yeah.
No isekais for me this season because apparently you guys all took them.
All right. Any last
Yeah.
words on the series?
Did good. Definitely check it out if you liked Baka Test or Grand Blue. And
Yeah.
despite being s- despite being marketed as like slightly pervy, yeah, even through like the openings and endings, it's really funny.
hmm
So check it out.
All right. Thank you very, very
9 out of 10.
much. Yeah, I'm definitely more interested in this as well. Again, thank you very much for helping to review.